And having declared that La Tadiru Waziratu Wizra Ukhra, no soul shall bear the burden of another soul, or will be answerable for the acts of another soul. The Holy Quran tells us, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We do not show our wrath upon the people, we do not punish the people. This is an unchangeable law of Allah. That we do not punish the people unless we have raised a prophet. Now this is apparently relevant to this, because previously something else was being discussed. It was said that coercion will not lead to anything, will be of no avail. And ultimately, a threat of coercion is mentioned in the end here. See, that is the issue which has to be sorted out before we proceed further. When I read again, مَنِ اتَّضَعَ فَإِنَّمَا يَعْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ, whoever is led to the right path is led to the right path for his own sake. وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَإِنَّمَا يُضِلُّ عَلَيْهِ, whoever is led astray for his own detriment. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى, nobody would be answerable for every person's sins and so on. وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. What is the relationship between this declaration and the previous? That we do not punish a people without raising prophets. The fact is that, number one, this has been declared that although you are not permitted to punish others because of doctrinal differences, Allah has the right to punish. And the punishment will be meted out, of course, to the wrongdoers. Not that they will be permitted to go scot-free, but it would be in the hands of Allah. He would exercise that right to punish, and no human being would be permitted to do that. That is one declaration. Number two, this declaration means that force will still not lead people to the right path. This will be a punishment not to force the issue, but a punishment as a reward to their past misbehavior and misconduct. Still they will not be led to the right path, even if Allah uses force. This is the ultimate argument. Even Allah's punishment will not lead people to the right path. That punishment will only be a sign of their total and ultimate rejection, and nothing more. So force is completely powerless to change the views of people. Now this subject is carried further into the life after death by the Holy Quran, and it is said that when they will see the last chastisement, the last punishment, they will say, now we have begun to see. You see? Now we understand. So you return us to our previous life, and you will see you will be reformed people. And that Allah tells them, no, not even this punishment. This final punishment can lead you to the right path. Because if we return you to the same, knowing what is in store for you, you will still behave crookedly and wrongly as you previously did. So force and righteousness, force and conviction are never to meet. They are totally opposed to each other. They belong to antipodes. They can never get together. East and West can get together to some platform, but not the force and conviction. In fact, force creates a reaction against truth, not in favor of truth. Yes, I know that, but this is another subject. I have only taken that bit of this verse which applies to this discussion. The rest I left out because it's a different, this verse also has so many other meanings. So you want me to start discussing this verse as it is,
One thing.
I'm discussion of that much which concerns this discussion and leave the rest alone for the time being. Right? So permit. I know you are very enthusiastic, you do it, for the sake of sharing the beauty of the Holy Quran as you see it with the rest of us. That is the only reason why you are suggesting this. The Holy Quran tells us that because they had ultimately decided to take recourse to force, so they have left us no choice but to take recourse to force. Not with the same objective as they claim, but with the objective of destroying them and wiping them out of the face of the earth. وقال الذين كفروا لرسلهم لنخرجنكم من أرضنا أو لتعودن في ملتنا فأوحى إليهم ربهم لنهلكن الظالمين. Because they are wrongdoers who want to use force against you, have decided to use force against you, so we have decided to annihilate them, and that is what we are going to do. Now, to remind you of what is happening in Pakistan, I'll just quote from what General Ziaul Haq Sahib declared once against Ahmadiyya. He said, in the last few years, in particular, the government of Pakistan has taken several stringent administrative and legal measures to prevent the Qadianism from masquerading as Muslims. The government took all these stringent measures. In reality, what he is saying is this, that we took all the possible stringent measures we could take to stop the spread of Ahmadiyya. And we have failed. Force has failed. We will, inshallah, imagine inshallah, what are you using inshallah? And also he has destroyed himself by using inshallah. Allah will never so it. When I read this way, I can't stop laughing. What is use of inshallah? Instead, he should have learned from Imran Khan and use the word uninshallah. It was a new phrase coined by Imran Khan, son of Dr. Saeed from, the family, your friend. Once he wanted to tell me something which he did not want to happen, He was returning home and he did not want to return home. So he said, of course, at last I am returning home, but uninshallah. They don't allow it. So what General Zia Sahib should have used was the word uninshallah. But he has not the wisdom of an empty child. So we will, quote unquote, inshallah, persevere in our effort to ensure that the cancer of Qadianism is exterminated. Now this is the language he used, and this is the language which has been used before him by other people like Pharaoh and so many others. And the moment you read these words, all the previous statements of the great opponents of earlier prophets are conjured up before your view, Essentially, fundamentally, they're the same thing. The same statement, the same haughtiness, the same arrogance, the same false pride, and the same, determination to oppose truth.